Hey guys, today I've got what you might think at first glance is a pretty strange review. This is the Teslong Otoscope or endoscope. And I'm gonna preface this, bear with me with why I'm reviewing this. You might be clicking on this going, dude, is this two-wheel obsession? Did I click on the wrong channel? No, you didn't. This actually does directly go to us motorcycle riders if you're riding smart like I do and use earplugs. This is an inspection camera, and this is kind of a dual purpose review. It does work specifically for its intended purpose, and I'll show you that in a minute, but it's also a really handy tool if, like me, you do work on your bikes. You could stick this thing down your spark plug hole and inspect your cylinder. It's a tiny little camera with lights that you can stick in all kinds of hard to reach places. Now it is rigid. There are specific inspection cameras out there that have a little manipulative arm and you can twist and bend it. You can't do that with this, but I'll tell you what, this thing works. The camera quality is top notch. It goes to 720p, takes photos and videos, streams them to your phone, either an iPhone, an Android, your tablet, or your computer. You just have to have Wi-Fi on your device and it connects. It's really easy and it works perfectly. So let's go through what comes in the box really quickly. There's not that much to it. It's a very simple device. And don't worry, this won't be a gross video. I will show you a little example of what it can do, but I want to talk about why it's important first. Look, especially us that are getting older, we have to value our hearing. I take care of my hearing. Luckily, I don't have any hearing damage. I've done stupid things in my youth with extremely loud car audio systems, for example, going to concerts, sitting in the front row without any ear protection. Knock on wood, I didn't do any damage. Every time I go to the firing range, I use earmuffs. You know, I haven't worked any professions that have damaged my hearing. I wasn't, for example, in the military and out on the range or in combat and have tinnitus or anything like that. So I'm fortunate there. Part of it is just dumb luck, but here in my older years, especially on the bikes, it's by design. Every ride I take, I use earplugs. I did reviews of several in the past. I love, if you're looking for a recommendation, the Surefire memory foam tipped models. They're extremely cheap. 25 bucks gets you a pair of them with a set of foam plugs. The foam plugs, for me, they last about 2 to 3 months. You can buy them direct from the manufacturer in a huge bulk pack and get those things down to about $3-4 bucks a year. Not kidding. So they're extremely comfortable. You can ride 24 hours a day and you don't even know they're in your ear. It's not a simple crunch down in foam plug. You do not feel them in or around your ear. They don't interfere with the helmet, putting it on or off. They don't hit the speakers in my helmet. They attenuate everything effectively over 80 decibels or so, but you still hear conversation. It makes music even more clear through my helmet speakers. It's really fantastic design, and there are other great ones out there. That's just one that fits me very well. I have very small ear canals, and the small size foam tips work perfectly. Point is, use protection on your bikes, not only from exhaust noise. This FZ09 has an obnoxiously loud but great sounding aftermarket exhaust and engine note. Without earplugs, this thing gives you a headache after about 15 minutes getting on it, no joke. My FJR, very quiet, stock exhaust. You can't hear this thing, this will sneak up on you. But the wind noise at speed does the same thing. It sneaks up on you, it can really give you a ringing in your ears. And stupid me used to ride it, especially my previous FJR, without ear protection. And after a trip or a long day's ride, man, I would have that humming or slight ringing, sometimes for a day or two. So for my age, my hearing test's okay. I have the normal drop at the extreme high end, but no damage. So here's the downside to wearing earplugs and why this comes into this whole video. Especially for those of us with small ear canals, especially for those of us with wetter earwax. Some people aren't aware that by genetics, you're either gonna have dry, flaky earwax or the wetter earwax. Some people that have one may not even know that the other exists, but the population is pretty split, 50-50 between the two, kind of towards region. Eastern Asian generally have the drier, and here in the US we generally have the wetter, but those are out there. And if you have the wetter type and you use earplugs, especially on a long ride, sometimes your ears are just plugged with wax when you pull them out. I've had that happen after a trip, pull the earplugs out. I still can't hear because I've got a lot of wax built up in there and the earplugs have pushed it around and smushed it in. Well, I also reviewed years ago now my ear washer that I have. Can't recommend enough. That thing works great. But if you have doubts about why you can't hear, or maybe you're not sure, this comes in handy. So let's go through what comes in it. We'll talk about it real quick. I'll show you a quick example and let's just see how it works. So here's what we get. It comes in a nice, almost hard shell carrying case. Everything fits nicely in it. You get a USB micro USB charge cable. Of course, you can use any wall wart to charge it up, just like a phone or tablet device. You have the otoscope itself. Very simple to control. You have a light intensity button here, a reset button, and a power button. That's it. The device itself has a long cable. They give you a little wrap here, and the lights are on the end. So you have 3 intensities and off. These are the earplugs that I use, just so you can see what they're like. Now these tips are worn out. I need to replace these, and they simply unscrew. Now normally with the new ones, you just roll it and they stay compressed, and then in your ear, they completely conform. You can see they're doing it a little bit there, but normally they're slower and they have a nice coating. And you can see there's earwax built up. I mean, it's the same thing inside your ear. And to replace them, you just screw on new foam tips. So I'll do that inside. The hollow center is what allows noise to come through. If you need them to really attenuate, you can just flap this closed and they work just like dummy foam plugs. But can't recommend these guys enough. So what else we get are protective tips, and you need to use these if you're actually sticking them in your ears. And they have disinfection instructions in the package there, and they just slide right over the end. If you're not using it in your ear, you can just use it as a normal macro camera, and it really does work well, and it focuses right up to the tip. And then to actually clean out the wax, you get these little hook ends, and they slide over the end again, and they have little tiny plastic spoons basically. So you can get in there, and I would definitely have somebody else do it if you're doing it to yourself. Don't try to scoop anything out, but great for your kids or your spouse. And you can clean out the ears very effectively and safely. I'm not going to give any kind of medical advice on how to use it, but they do give you the tools here. And then just some alcohol pads to get you started to clean everything off. Should be pretty obvious there. That's all there is to the device. Now to actually use it, we just fire up our tablet or phone, fire up the app, and that's it. I mean, it's really simple controls. You've got video and photo mode. You've got settings, which are basically just to adjust the resolution. 720p is the high, and they've got a VGA for a lower. And you can see my fingertip here. I mean, we're like 3 millimeters away from the tip, and it's focused. So, I mean, it works really well. You can see my fingerprints there. It's really cool. All right, so I've just come back from a ride. My hearing is fine, but my ears were clean before the ride. You can see what came out on the tip, just for normal use. Let's stick it in real quick. Not gonna clean it, just gonna show you exactly how the picture looks on the phone here and see what we see. So I've got one of the normal protective tips on. You can see the field of view opens up if I take it off. So this would be great for any kind of parts inspection. So putting the tip on, just make sure that you're not touching anything with the device itself or poking anything that shouldn't be poked. Let's stick it in the left side here. Oh my. I've got the light on high. I need to find my orientation. Not sure which way it's rotated. Let me try a lower setting of the light. Where'd the switch go? There it is. That's off. It's low, medium, high. Okay, so it looks like it's just affecting the auto shutter speed. I'll leave it on high. It's very hard here to manipulate it myself. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, that's the right orientation. Aha, there we go. Oh, my ear goes a different way than it feels. That's weird. It's at a very different angle. So this tip definitely helps because it allows it to stretch the ear and see down in there. All right, so still nice and clean. You're looking at my eardrum. That, God, I can't remember the name of the ear washer now. I'll put the link down in the description, but it works. I mean, it's nice and safe. And there you go. A little dirty on the outsides there, but that's where the foam was. Very cool. Hello. Little tiny camera. See how close you can get to my eyeball. Just kidding. Wow, that's pretty cool. Neat. Now everybody can do a retina scan for me. Like I said, it works really well as a normal macro camera. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna have to take a photo right here. Sweet. Elephant ears is the name of the ear washer. Just remember that. Anyway, there you go, guys. Look, the best praise, seriously, that I can give a product like this is that it works. Just flat out works. It is an appliance. You turn it on and everything works exactly as you expect it to and as they say it should. Very impressed. I completely give my thumbs up to them for producing a product. This version is brand new. No negatives. So if you're looking for something like this, if you're concerned about your hearing, if you have kids especially, pick it up. Super cheap, pretty darn useful. First in the world that I've seen like this. Hope it helps. See you guys next time.